It's been a few days since I planted this, and now you can see I have some sprouts coming up, which I have to keep an close eye on because there's a lot of slugs here. So I have this little patch here, and I have things sprouting along there, if you can see that. So this is more cabbage, savoy, and celery patch here. So hopefully more things pop up. I have a lot of little seedlings popping up. They're not going to make it through, I'm sure of it, but you just never know. We're going to have some warmer weather, and I just thought it's fun to see them kind of sprout up here. My peppers are still going strong. I'm so annoyed because there's so many of these little snails that I am pulling from my garden. It's just so annoying. They need to just go away. But some of these peppers are still producing, so I'm going to keep them for a little bit longer. I'm going to see if I could overwinter them so that way they have a chance to grow next year, because a lot of them didn't get to produce because it wasn't that warm, and some of them are just starting. I wonder if this is variegation. If this is variegation, then this is a fish pepper, which I think it might be, which is going to be cool. But yeah, my little patch, they're growing healthy and strong. I didn't thin them out because, again, I have a lot of pest pressure and they're eating them, so I might as well not thin them out, let them continue to grow, and survival of the fittest. All right, it has been a busy day. I've been doing a lot of in-house chores, but it is going to be a series of warmer weather. We're going to hit close to the 80s this week, and I'm going to give some of my peppers some TLC. After this warm blast, I don't anticipate that we're going to have another one, so all of these green tomatoes I'm going to pick, and then I'm going to put this plant to rest. I did pull out a eggplant because it wasn't producing, and it had a lot of those. Do you see those little ants with those nodes? I think they are pests, insects, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Anyways, I'm gonna fill up my peppers with some bone meal, and then also fill it up with more organic soil that I got. And as you can see, my plants are growing pretty well. They're gonna naturally thin out, so I'm not too worried about them, because some of them are roots, which is like daikon or radishes, and some of them are leafy greens, so it's gonna be fine. And then over here, I'm starting to get some cabbages and lettuces that are popping up, and then also some what do you call them, onions. So excited about that. So time for some garden time. So here's the garden. It's been a few days since I was last here. This week we're going to have some weather in the 80s, and we have some pretty good germination on some. I honestly can't even remember what I planted anymore here. I would have to look back, but I know these are spinach. I'm thinking these are onions, but the green onions. And then I have some, I don't know, my goodness, celery, I want to say. Really, I just did some chaos gardening. Really, this time of the year they call lazy gardening, because I'm really just throwing seeds down on the ground, but I'm getting some pretty good germination, so I'm really happy about that. Things are still going strong. I am so surprised that my opal is still putting out fruits. So hopefully there's going to be a male flower to pollinate that. And then here is my radish bed. I'm still getting some peppers, getting some pepper formation, which is I'm really happy about. I really think this is a fish pepper because there's variegation in the leaves, which is so pretty. I've trimmed down some of these peppers, hopefully to put it to bed, but they're still producing, so I'm going to just let them go because we're going to have some warm weather. Yeah. And I know that when I watered the seeds, kind of blow around because my rows are no longer straight. But I'm getting some good peas germinating along the edges over there on the outskirts to climb up. And yeah, so the radishes should be good. At least the French breakfast and the globe radishes will be good. The daikon radishes take a bit longer than the normal radishes. So, but yeah, things are looking good, and with some warm weather, it's going to help out quite a lot. I was really excited because today I got the Baker Creek 2024 seed catalog, and I love Baker Creek, don't get me wrong. However, I've expanded where I purchase seeds from, and as much as I love Baker Creek, none of the varieties really interest me this year. I do want to continue this. I think I already have a cart that I want from Seed Savers, and my gardener. There are a couple others. But yeah, it's the time to start thinking about your spring garden already. And so it's time to buy seeds. And actually, I will go back tomorrow. But I'm having really good germination rates. And as you recall, I was just kind of chaos gardening my fall. I was lazy gardening my fall plant. And the reason being is because a lot of my seeds were packed in 2021, 2020. And yeah, I didn't think they were going to germinate, but they all germinated. So there goes to show that even good seeds are still good, even if it's several years later. So you won't know until you just put it in the ground and give it a shot. I have just not been having like the best week. My allergies go off and on and off and on. I don't know if it's allergies now or if I have a cold. But I have not been sleeping very well. But I wanted to show you guys chaos gardening at its finest. So as you could see, I have really good germination happening. I really just threw the seeds here. Because one, they were seeds that was packed in 2020 and 2021. So I really didn't think that they're going to germinate, but they did. And secondly, this area gets no sun at all. So I didn't think anything was going to germinate. But it has been very warm these past several days. And so maybe even though there's no sun here, we're getting germination. As you can see, I've cleaned up the whole cucumbers that are all gone. My peppers are still doing well because of the fact that it is getting to be pretty warm out. They're still really thriving. Hopefully they can overwinter. I really hope my holy basil will continue to grow as well. And I am convinced that this is a fish pepper, because
because of the variegation that's happening. Over here, as you can see, my plants are thriving, they're growing. This is the only area that gets any sun. By the time it gets to be noon, this is it. Everything else doesn't get any sun. So it's been growing, thriving. I can't even remember what I planted here. I potted a lot of root vegetables, and then some kale. I have to re-look at my video. And then I am so surprised that I'm still getting an upal, probably because the sun is reaching this area. I hope it was fertilized. I don't think it was, but hopefully it was fertilized so I could get at least one more upal for this year. So take it from me, guys. You can grow in small spaces. You can do a little bit of lazy gardening or chaos gardening, and it's worth throwing your seeds that you've had in packets for years in the ground, because you don't know if they are gonna grow or not, and you won't know until you plant it. And in my case, even the seeds that was packed in 2020 are all sprouting.